Hey guys, welcome on the Artivoxer YouTube channel. Today we will learn how to create this scene inside Houdini. So let's take a look at the final render and let's dive into the tutorials. In this video, I want to show you how to assign randomly some material into different geometry based on your class attribute. So here I have a scene with some makeup product. So it's just basic RBD simulations. So here after my RBD simulation, I have my unpack node. And here after my unpack node, I have 3 branches. So the first one is to isolate the cap of my product. So if I click on the blast, you can see we have all the cap here. So in that product, the cap is the same material for each of individual bottles. So the packaging is absolutely the same material also because it's a glass. And here I have the interior of my packaging, so it's that branch. So this is the fluid color of the product. And I want to assign randomly different material into that part of my object. So here I have added my connectivity node. So the connectivity node will add a class attribute, so you can check into the geometry spreadsheet. So here if I go into primitive, you can see we have our class attribute from 0 to 161. So we will use this class attribute to assign randomly our materials into our geometry. So then we can go back into the scene view here. Because my normals are reversed, I use the reverse node and the normal node to recalculate our normals. And here I have created 3 groups. So the first group is for the caps. The second group is for our packaging glass. And the third group is for our liquid. So in that case, we can isolate these 3 different groups to assign our materials. So if I go into my object level here, I have created my material network just here. And if I dive inside, you can see the different materials. So we have the cap materials, we have the glass materials. So this is the material used for every of singles bottles here. We have the background material also, and here we have the 40 shade for our liquids. So we have 40 materials here, and we want to assign this 40 shade randomly into our 161 product here. So to do that, we can go back into the object levels. And here after the merge node, I will add my material node. The first step is to assign material into the cap and into the bottles. So here we will do that with the material nodes. So with the material node here, we can target a group. So let's target the first group, which is the caps. And let's assign the materials. So here I will dive into my material networks, and the caps material is this one. So I will select caps and click on accept. So now let's create our second material. So let's click on the green icon here and let's target the second group, which is bottles. And for the bottle, I will select my material. So the material is a glass. So let's dive into our materials, and it is glass here. So let's click on accept. So now I will start a render and we can see what we are getting for now. So now we can see into the rendering view, we have added correctly our light pink material into the caps, and we have added the glass into our bottles here. But for now, the interior of our bottle are pure white, so we want to assign our 40 shade randomly into of each individual bottles. So to do that, I will go back into the scene view here. And instead of using the material node, I will use the primitive wrangles. So let's add the primitive wrangles. And here with the primitive wrangles, I will target the group I want to assign my material. So in my case, I called the group liquid. So let's target the liquid group here. So I run over primitive, of course. And here the first step is to create a string variable pointing into the base name of our materials. So here let's create a string variables and let's call it something like base name. And this one should be equal to the path of our base name of the material. So you can go back into the object level here. And my material network is just here, and I've called it rs_mat. And if I dive inside, I have all my liquid shader here. So I have called it liquid_1 until liquid_40 because I have 40 shade here. So the base name of the material is liquid underscore. So let's copy this one, Control C. Then you can go back into the object levels, into the geometry container. And here you can simply tap the path of your base name of the material. So in my case, I will type obj and rsmat because I have called it my material network like this, underscore mat. And then I will type the base name of the material, which is liquid underscore. And now I can close this one. So now we can create an integer variable to create a random value for the liquid material here. So let's create an integer variable. Let's call it something like num. And here you can use the floor function with the rand function to generate random numbers. And here you can use your class attribute, which is e@class. And let's create a slider to move the position of each shade. So let's create a seed parameter. So our seed can be an integer. So let's add plus channel integer. And let's call this one seed. And here you can multiply this one by 40 because in my case I have 40 materials. So it will generate a random number between 1 and 40. And here you can close this line. And here we can update our shop path material attribute. So our attribute is s for string at shop underscore material path, which is equal to our first variable, which is base name. So let's copy this one, plus the num variable here, but we need to convert from integer to string. So let's use the itoa function. And let's use our num variable plus 1. And here I've just made a quick error here, so it is material. And you can click on this little icon to appear the seed parameter here. So you can move the seed to change the position of each shade into our liquid. So for example, you can put the seed here, and if you don't like the position of the shade, you can move this slider to get another positions. So let's open the render view and let's see if we have correct materials. And now you can see we have assigned randomly our 40 shade into our different objects. And now with the seed, you can change this value to change the position of each shade. So let's put the value here, for example. So now you can see the position of the shade has changed based on our object. So with this little vex expression, you can assign randomly some materials into your object based on your class attribute. So I think it's a very, very powerful way to assign your materials. And of course, after that, you can assign a null if you want, and you can rename it render, for example, and you can make your render based off that. But before that, I have to make a file cache here, but for these examples, I have skipped the file cache. So that's it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye. That's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel and check artivoxer.com to get premium 3D resources. You can access to this project file with our Artifiles membership. See you in the next one. Bye.